Hi Sagar, how are you doing today?
Hey Amit, hi, I'm fine. How are you doing today? Good evening.
Good evening, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, my name is Amit Sharma, and today I and Sagar would be talking about Oracle Eloqua tool and its benefits, how to elevate your B2B marketing and sales operations. So let's begin, Sagar. I think this is going to be a very excited session today.
Yes, Amit, definitely. Hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are joining. Yes, next 45 minutes, we will be talking a lot about what we are seeing out in the market, around the B2B space and what the marketeers are really doing or wanting from the technology companies and the partners to deliver on the difficult targets that they've received. So that's what we're going to talk about. Hope you enjoyed the session and you take out some gold nuggets which you can carry back to your marketing plans. Uh, yeah.
I think by that statement, it seems that we're going to make people rich today.
Absolutely. We are going to make people and their company rich, today after all the experience that we're going to share.
Definitely. So me being a senior delivery manager with Crescent Interactive for marketing automation practice, and I welcome Sagar Mehta as a director solutions engineering CS applications with Oracle.
Yeah, again, thank you, Amit. Yeah.
I would love to share the agenda for today's meeting. We're going to have a discussion around the importance of cleansing and managing your database and how to score the lead journey across the various touch points in Eloqua. Marketing and sales alignment. So I think that's the major fuzz around in the market, that how best practices or best possible ways through a tool of marketing automation can help to align marketing and sales, two different teams, two different corners of business verticals, and identifying the right channels for optimizing the marketing budget and campaign strategies. And last but not the least, how we can leverage AI and ML to personalize the campaigns. I think, again, another trend which is there going on, that machine learning and artificial intelligence is been so much in support of existing tools, which is marketing automation, or maybe, of different platforms and tech stacks where Eloqua of Oracle is playing a major role.
Yes.
About Crescent Interactive, I would like to share some of the insights about the organization being a global digital innovation leader that designs and deploys and delivers digital engines in terms of business practices and service domains, and also on product size. And we have enabled 1,000 plus global customers to optimize their operational efficiencies and maximize their ROIs. We were founded in 2008 and headquartered in India, Panchkula. Our team has extensive experience in enriching customer interactions, designs, and engaging communities, and enabling their digital marketing and driving data-driven decision supports through our in-house expertise, of course.
Yeah, and I think Oracle doesn't need any introduction, right? And so does Oracle Eloqua when it comes to B2B marketing. Oracle Eloqua has been a leader in B2B marketing automation, as we call it, for about 8 or 10 years now, continuously rated in a leadership position by Gartner and Forrester. It's a tool of choice for all the large enterprises out there, and what we are now seeing is also with all the innovation and AI built in, we're seeing a lot of mid-market companies also leveraging Eloqua to run their daily campaigns, from B2B perspective. And we're seeing a lot of uptake, especially, in this digital era, or in the last 2 years, when a lot of external events or in-house events have now moved to webinars, right? So Oracle Eloqua is the marketing automation solution from Oracle, and it is basically created for B2B marketing, or I would say considered purchase. It's integrated with all the top technologies that are available globally in terms of there are connectors for the top CRMs out there, and from the BI perspective as well. So that's a little bit information about Eloqua, and we will discuss in detail when we get into some capabilities on how customers are using it.
Yeah, definitely. As a repo, I think Oracle Eloqua has been known as a high-end enterprise solution tool, of course.
Right. So I think this I think sales and marketing, really are like husband and wife, right? They just can't stay together, and humans can't stay apart, right? They don't like talking to each other, but they still have to talk to each other because they complement at the end of the day. They complement, and that's how companies generate businesses. So, I think we'll talk a little bit about the love and hate relationship that marketing and sales teams have, especially in the B2B space. And this laugh really talks about really sales and marketing is working together. I mean, I'm not sure it does at most of the companies, but some companies have done a little better than others, and we'll talk about them.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a sarcastic grin which we can see, and I think for a reason you and I are there definitely, that how we can leverage marketing automation or a tool like Eloqua, where we can have a bridge building between the marketing team and make a right kind of a perfect alignment as per the business needs. Where the sales teams can actually have expected funnels,
Right.
or maybe the conversions. Going through the trend for 2022, I think there are major challenges right now which have been faced, and as per those challenges, there are different marketing tactics which has been taken care by Oracle Eloqua tool. I think right now I would like to focus more on the poorly integrated MarTech stack because as per me, perfect integration or the sync between a CRM and a marketing automation tool like Eloqua is very, very vital and important. Unless and until you have a perfect integration has been done, there won't be an exchange of leads or exchange of data. Of course, we'll be making a touch base on the data cleansing part also, which is a kind of a primary starting point for any of the marketing automation campaign. But yeah, integration is very much important. In case a right kind of a sync is not been done, there would be a lot of sync issues. There won't be right kind of an exchange of data being done, and again, the alignment between marketing and sales doesn't happen as expected.
Yeah.
And
I would. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please, Sagar.
I'll just want to add and probably bring up the marketing and sales. Just expanding on what I was saying. When we go to meet the marketeers, right? 90% of the time, the issue that they come up with is whenever I share a lead with my sales team, they often come back to me saying, I knew this customer, I knew they were interested in this product, right? So what's new that you are telling me? This is what 90% of the marketeers tell us, right? And this is where I think technology in general comes into the picture, because when you use technology which communicates continuously with your prospects, you build a rapport, while a sales rep only gets to know about that opportunity before that marketing team has done a lot of effort, right? So you actually build the right rapport by sharing the right content, and when you feel that your some of the prospects are really looking at your content, they've downloaded one of the your product description documents, or they've attended one of the webinars that you've done, right? That's when actually marketing team shares these leads with their sales team, and this is very important, because what happens is you get marketing qualified leads, otherwise you get a lot of junk, and important leads are lost in between, right? This is why I want to highlight how and sales guys have to be in this journey. What really happens is marketeers run some program, they share the leads, and that's it, right? So what we are trying to bring in is both the stakeholders working or using this technology to do something better, right? And when I talk about especially on the right hand side, you see video marketing, right? In the last 2 years, people really don't want to read for 5, 10, 15 minutes. They want to see 2-minute videos. Okay, and what we've clearly seen, I think Amit would agree with me, that YouTube or other channels which are video specific channels are gaining a lot of traction as compared to the display ads or even LinkedIn, right? So video marketing is now really becoming at the center of the content strategy, and even some of the landing pages these days which companies create to get in leads have a couple of minute videos. Okay. So if I just have to take out from this, latest 2022 marketing trends report that Oracle has published along with Ascent, video marketing is the number one channel today being used by, marketeers. And second is bringing market sales reps in the technology or level, ensuring they use the technology is really helping them to, do better job at conversion. So just few things that I wanted to highlight out of all the content that's up there. Amit.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think right now the traction is really important, and that matters a lot in today's time. Little weird, but I would really like to share that my first impression was that as a marketer, there has to be a lot of personalization to be happen, maybe with the B2B clients or B2C clients. So I was little skeptical in terms of that, knowing a marketing automation tool like Eloqua or maybe any other tool, that will the personalization actually grow or it will diminish it. Then I got to know that, what I realized using these different tools, that okay, it is actually complementing the personalization effect that which marketers as a conventional methods being used. As you said that through virtual events or webinars or video marketing, a lot of traction happening, personalized content offered is there, content-based marketing has been done, right kind of a segmentation has been done. So my impression was earlier a little different, but now knowing the tool more, as Oracle's prestigious tool, which is Eloqua, I think, it is definitely going to have more complementing effect in terms of personalizing the marketing campaigns to reach out the customers.
Yes, absolutely. I'll just add one example of what Dr. Reddy's is doing with us in India. A pharmaceutical company, right, at the end of the day. So what they've done is, they've created a portal with videos, right? Videos about, how their medicines are effective, right? What are the latest R&D that they are doing. And with Eloqua, they are actually reaching out to, doctors, and, when the doctors click on those, emails or, communications that go out to them, they actually land on a page which is just related to, what that doctor is practicing. So if it's an oncologist, everything that you would see, all the videos that you would see about, Dr. Reddy's offerings are all around oncology. All right. So they've created this portal, of course, using Oracle technology, and they just have videos, right? That website is all about videos. And they're communicating with their doctors, and asking them to come on to the platform, which is personalized on, what they are practicing. So a very different use case, but that's how a healthcare company is using Eloqua.
Definitely. Yeah. Let's move further. So as we also spoke earlier, that how data cleansing is really crucial, because everything starts with data. Everything depends upon data, whether data is being directly attributed in the CRM or via automation tool. That data cleansing is important before making any kind of a campaign programming or before making any kind of a conversion from the MQLs which has been created. So I think data segmentation, data cleansing part, which is the start point according to me before we are making any kind of a move ahead for programming the campaign or deciding that what sort of nurture has to be done. Even the segmentation also equally important before we have a demand gen program being created, before making a reach out, how spurious or how perfect the data is. That part of validation is really important. And then features like contact washing machine is there as part of one of the programs of Eloqua, where we can actually have a data cleansing. AI, which we're going to talk further, would really help in terms of making the right segmentations and the data cleanse.
Yeah. So, Amit, 70% of the campaigns fail or the technology fails because of bad data.
Yeah.
Right? We all know that, and that's a starting point, and that's why Oracle Eloqua is probably the only solution out there in market that offers this capability, which is of cleansing data, right? So Oracle being in the data business, right, we've got a great expertise on I'll not say cleaning the data, but arranging the data, cleaning the data, concatenating the data, right? So there are a lot of things that you do with data before you ingest into the system. Typically what happens is there will be someone who will be doing all these activities on a daily basis, like if you've given Gmail by mistake, right, changing it to Gmail, right? So there could be a lot of errors like that, which has to be corrected, and there are a lot of manual rules that you have to write outside, or there's some person who is doing it, which could be error, which could be prone to errors. But with contact washing machine, we kind of automate the whole process. So you're least worried, about your quality of the data when you ingest that, into the system, right? So that's as we all say, all great things or all great campaigns start with data, and which is Oracle's bread and butter, and that's why we believe this is important step. That's why we have a capability which is very unique to Oracle Eloqua, and there are a lot of things, once you look at the documentation, you realize that we do a lot of things when it comes to data cleansing before ingesting into the system.
Yeah, definitely. And even on this point, I would like to share one of my customer experiences, which I came across, and a little funny, but unfortunate at the same time. I'm not gonna name the customer. That's one of the experiences which I came across, and that's a perfect example for data cleansing. That the customer was so much, focused on the data which they have in the CRM, and they had done the lead scoring, they had done the perfect nurture, but their open rates were not appropriate as per the expectation, as per the program which has been laid down. So we have been continuously asking them about the data segmentation, to have an audit done on the data segmentation, to have the data cleansing been done, but they were so much, motivated and proud on the data what they have. And finally, when we got the audit done by a third party or the tool, which we suggested, so the actual reality of the truth which came across was the data was not perfect, it was not perfectly segmented. And that's how the moment of truth came in front of that particular customer, because so much reliability on data they were making. Of course, the reliability was that based on the data, all the programs would have been created, but when the results were not appropriate as per their expectation, then how the reality came into the picture, that the data is not cleansed properly, data is not segmented properly.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, let's move on to the next capability.
Yeah. So again, as we were talking about the segmentation part, data cleansing part, in continuation to that, it actually complements the lead scoring model or the lead scoring life cycle, where the scoring for the particular leads have been done or the grading has been done. Again, as directly in connection to the alignment of marketing and sales, where marketing team putting up their efforts in terms of creating the right strategies. And as per those right strategies, in case if the results are not been driven, where sales team is eager to have a conversion funnel, lead scoring comes into picture to play a vital role, very important role, to have that bifurcation done for those MQLs, to convert them into the right SQLs and have the right kind of a scorecard or the grade card, which has been promoted further to the sales team through in the CRM, and then they can reach out the right audiences. What do you say?
Yeah, I think lead scoring is bread and butter of B2B marketing, right? Personally, if you ask me, I think we discussed this in the past. The market is really difficult, and the moment you get lead, you start chasing out to that customer immediately, right? But having said that, what also happens is, as the first time the customer may just you may talk to the customer and he may not show interest, but over a period of time, as of course the sales cycles for different industries are different, but typically if you look at a 6-month cycle in a B2B business, there are a lot of insights that a customer gives, because of which your lead score changes, right? And you do progressive profiling, right? One of the capabilities, because you don't ask too many questions first time, otherwise customer won't give you anything. But you slowly add up and start asking questions and build up his profile, and that's how you also improvise on your lead. So scoring leads is very important. What we have seen is generally, most of the customers look at just one dimension of leads. But what we believe is a perfect lead score. Two things. One is, a perfect lead score is a combination of your demographic data and your engagement data. Okay.
Absolutely.
You may look at someone who's a senior executive, right? But he's not engaging with you, so the lead is less. At the same time, you have a student who's coming onto your website 20 times, right? You feel he's an awesome lead, but actually he's just doing his research papers, and is coming to your website to understand the technology. Okay, so this is where we believe that it has to be multi-dimensional. That's why you see profile and engagement over here, where profile could be anything around demographics, and engagement, as you can see, is visiting website, clicks on email, submission forms. As recently we've included stuff like integration with Zoom. So and when you run a webinar like we're doing today, you can basically give a lead score on the basis of attending webinar, asking questions. So if you ask a question, your lead score goes up. Right. So this is the kind of complex lead scoring that we believe can take people to the next level, or it is required in today's world. Of course, as you can see, that you can increase the the percentage of what you think is more important for you or for your particular product. And what's more important is why should you have just one or two lead scoring models, right? You should have 10 or 15 lead scoring models, which Oracle Eloqua allows you to manage, because your products are different, your campaigns are different, right? Your regions are different, and in some regions something works, in some for some products something works better, right? So you should have, or we give marketeers the flexibility of creating multiple models, A, and B, leveraging profile and engagement at the same time to create lead scores, right? So that's a capability that we offer out of the box to help marketers.
Yeah, so of course, as an overall, I think we have to view it as an end-to-end process, because a lot of time I suggest to my customers who come up with a request for only a lead scoring model or only a lead scoring life cycle model. But I see it as an end-to-end process, as a life cycle, that how lead scoring is correlating with the segmentation or the data part, and also with the CRM, because there's a lot of modification which keeps on happening at the CRM and or maybe the database part. Once the modification has been done, the whole segmentation also be improvised. Basis on that, a complete lead scoring model has to be changed. It cannot be a one-time practice that okay, we have 5 different lead score models or life cycles, or maybe 10 different models or life cycles, but that life cycle has to be improvised as the data has been modified, because lead scoring model is completely depending on the data which has been inculcated in the system through CRM or directly to the automation tool. So I think it has to be a continuous process.
Correct. Absolutely.
So again, as mainly the touch point of our conversation today, that sales alignment, marketing and sales alignment, and that too via Eloqua. And Eloqua has different components of sales tools, which is Eloqua Engage and Eloqua Profiler, which gives an independence and a freedom to salespeople in case if they would like to have their own customization in terms of reaching out to the customers with these components, and have a right kind of a reporting also at the same time.
Yeah.
They can have a complete bifurcation. They don't have to depend on the marketing automation tool, but they can use a Eloqua Engage or Eloqua Profiler and create their own small set of ecosystem to bifurcate or prioritize the context where they would like to reach. They can send emails through these 2 different components. They can have a right kind of reporting and done, and again make a strategy as per to how to make a reach out. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Amit, can you move to next slide? I think I'll be able to explain that better.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think these are the capabilities that we offer as part of Eloqua. Now, the biggest mistake that marketing team has been doing is not involving their sales teams, in the process, right? And this is where something like Eloqua Engage comes into the picture. So what happens here is marketing team has their templates, and what they offer is the sales reps, right? While they are in Outlook, they can actually send out those emails, to your customers. So they're not playing around with the template, so that the brand sanity is maintained. At the same time, they're able to send out those communications right from their mobile phones and using their own Outlook, right? So that's the capability that we offer as part of Engage. And when it comes to Profiler, because these emails are being sent through Eloqua, the sales rep now can track whether those emails were opened, where they clicked, whether the PDF, PPT, which was sent across with the email, right, was downloaded. So now the sales rep actually knows that his prospect is even looking at his products. So now he's involved, right? He's involved because now he's doing the whole marketing by himself. Right? Not only that, with the single view in the profiler, he's able to see absolutely everything about that customer, what is his current, score, what are the other details, what are the people whom he can contact. Not only that, every time that customer comes on, the website, there could be an alert which could be set up, to be sent to the sales rep. Which means that whenever someone is viewing something about your product or is on your website, sales rep would know at that moment that the customer is on my website, and he could probably immediate make a call in 10 minutes. Now the customer may think it's a he or she may just think it's that I don't know how, but I was just on their website and I got a call right from the sales rep. But yes, I think this is the power of giving marketing capabilities to the sales team, making them more involved, making them take decisions better, looking at the data, and not dependent on marketing team all the time, right? Because that's marketing team, as we say, right? They don't want to talk to each other, and the less they talk, better it is. But the best way of doing it is giving power to both of them, rather than just marketing team keeping the power. So I think this is the capability that we offer, and we believe that it's a very strong out of the box capabilities, and the sales rep just love it.
So a little doubt I have around this, Sagar. So is there any limitation around these two components? I mean, in terms of the limit of emails which they can send, or maybe in case if these components I have to visualize or summarize as comparing to the main tool, which is Eloqua. So how flexible these components are in terms of making the integrations to other third-party tools, or maybe direct embedment with the website. From there they can get the alerts. So any sort of limitations around these two components?
Yeah, good question, Amit. So actually there's no limitation in terms of how many emails you can send, how much tracking you can do, right? The only limitation is that, as part of the overall package, right, what you initially get is limited licenses of, profiler, okay? And you can start with some of your best sales reps. And the moment they start seeing value, you can buy some, additional quantity of, those profilers, so that you can give to more sales team members. Right. So from features and capabilities perspective, we just don't stop anyone, right? But from licensing capabilities, yes, you have to buy additional licenses, but there are some limited quantity which is offered free as part of the whole solution.
Okay, thanks for the clarity.
Yeah.
All right, so major aspect, which is budgeting, because every enterprise, every organization focuses on the right ROI, but to generate that right ROI, I think some sort of investment has to be there, and there comes the budgeting part. But I think again, talking about the tool or the automation process which happens throughout the journey between marketing strategy, creating campaigns through digital marketing processes, creating the lead database directly or through third-party generations, or maybe making any kind of an integration with the CRM. But the main value addition which I see is that to identifying those channels, which are actually recurring that kind of responses for any marketer, for any organization. For example, the webinars or the events, or any programs, the video recordings which you mentioned earlier. So in case we are not identifying that which channels are the right fit from as a source of the actions which have been taken by the customers, that how the behavior is more aggressive through which channel. Is it through a webinar? Is it through an event? From where we are getting the right pipeline, so that according to that we can decide our budget and we can focus more investing in that particular channel. I think again, identifying the right channel is really important. Otherwise the budget gets burned out randomly if we are not identifying. It'll be maybe draining out haywire, maybe in maybe in one program or maybe simultaneously in another program. But in case if we are identifying that, okay, which is the right channel? Is it the event program for where we are getting the right responses through which we can have a scoring done, and then we can create a sales funnel? Accordingly, we should invest in that and create our budget, and then again improvising the strategy. So it's again repeating myself, it's kind of a cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the way I look at it is, a seesaw. I think with both my kids, when I go to garden, what I see is, on the top is the expectation, right? And at the bottom is the budget. Correct. So that's how I see. And, I think the expectation is continuously going up and the budgets are going down. So it's maximizing ROI, which is clearly the core responsibility of the marketing teams. Marketing teams in the last 2 years, I have seen have targets. It's not like brand building in the past, right? Everyone carries a target and they have to generate X number of leads which have to convert. So generating revenues is now the number one priority of marketing. It's not brand anymore. Having said that, number one channel in the world in terms of ROI continues to remain email, right? No matter what you say, whether it is abuse, no matter what you want to say, right? It is proven. There are tons of reports available which continue to say that email is your most effective channel when it comes to ROI. That's one. Second is, with all the cookie, issues happening, right? Those third-party data which is available in the market, all that is just going down the drain. Okay. We have a lot of new startups who say that, we have the PIN code, or the street address of your, small and medium enterprise. I was talking to one of the telecom operators who took services of this company for a couple of months, and they identified that 100% of the addresses were incorrect, right? So they did a quick survey and, they identified that, address mapping doesn't happen, especially in countries like India, may work for, something like US, because people are now working from home and stuff like that. So if I have to say, channels, email continues to remain number one channel when it comes to ROI. Video continues to remain the number two channel when it comes to, generating leads. It's expensive, but especially with reels and everything coming in, right? No one wants to read a 7 or 8 minute article that you've published. Okay. Everyone wants to understand your technology in 30 seconds. What is it your company is offering in 30 seconds, right? If you can place your ads smartly, on YouTube or somewhere else, I think it does work most of the time, right? So, I would say two: email, number one ROI channel, videos, expensive, but definitely the eyeballs are much higher. And no one buys paid subscriptions from YouTube, right? So you have to watch it for 30 seconds. You can't even skip the ad these days.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think two channels, if you ask me, I don't want to talk about 10 channels and what they do, but really what I'm seeing in the market, in the B2B space is YouTube from videos perspective, and, email continues to be the channel. For B2C, I think the world has moved to WhatsApp completely, right? So I was talking to one of the large banks and they are saying, we have decided 100% of our marketing budget will be spent on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Right. So 100%. And this is one of the largest banks in the country, right? And they have collectively taken a decision that WhatsApp is going to be our channel. Okay, it's expensive, but yeah, I mean, that's a channel for B2C, and I keep hearing that from most of the customers. But B2B, video and emails.
Yeah, I think as an observation, a lot of WhatsApp platforms are also been in trend these days, right. And are being offered. There are a lot of B2C and B2B communication keeps on happening.
Yeah, just from the product perspective, since we are on this slide, I think the way Eloqua helps is really, getting getting those reports which are important, which tells you that, the campaign that you ran on 5 channels, which is the channel which gave you the maximum ROI. There are ways to do it, because, you map those campaigns to your leads, and then eventually when those leads score, when your leads close in the CRM, the dollar at which that lead was closed, right? That comes back into the campaign. So maybe in 2 to 3 months time, what you will be able to identify clearly is which channels are working for you, right? As I said, depending upon your business, what could be, and your budgets, what you may know better, what could be your right channel, but the technology will actually help you integrate with those sources and with your CRM and with some of the built-in capabilities. It is going to tell you with graphical interfaces that which channels are working the best so that you can take decisions.
Right. I think the interesting part of Grazity as an organization is that, of course, today we are talking about Oracle, Eloqua, but Grazity as a service provider, we also support our customers on other marketing automation tools also. So the best part, the interesting part is that there are multiple ways to see a channel. Maybe one customer, one enterprise who's using Eloqua identifies a channel as per that technology or as per the strategy which they have created. But now someone using another tool may identify, because the response rates are different, maybe as how the program has been created, how aggressively the tool is responding to those programs, how perfectly the attributes have been made, how perfectly the segmentation has been made. So channels also varies. I mean, as far as my experience has been concerned, I've noticed that, talking to different customer sets who belong to different line of businesses, different domains. So they have identified different channels. But yeah, the motto is same. The vision is common to all the business enterprises.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we should move further.
Yeah.
Okay, leveraging AI and ML to personalize the campaigns. As we have spoken so much about lead scoring, data cleansing, segmentation. So AI and ML, I think these two different technology aspects are really helpful in terms of making fatigue analysis, that how much we actually need to focus on. Like, we have covered the identifying the right channels, we have covered the lead scoring model, but now in what manner the lead scoring model should be done. In case if something is missing in the data segmentation, how well we can identify that, how less the manual effort has to be there. In case if there is any kind of an intelligence which has been incorporated, then those missing fields, when there is a list uploading or maybe data enrichment has been required, I think machine learning and artificial intelligence can play a vital role in identifying those gaps and also fulfilling those gaps. In case if we are sending the emails, there has to be right subject line. So now making a manual effort, subject line may be different or may vary, may get a kind of an error in that. But yeah, using machine learning or maybe using artificial intelligence, those kind of rectifications can be done there and there. I think a lot of time saving or energy saving and response correctiveness can be done with these technologies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, completely agree with you, Amit. I think, see, the common pattern is that the marketing teams are getting smaller, right? The number of campaigns that they have to run is going up, right? And that's where you need a little bit support of AI, ML to take off a little burden, and improve the efficacy. If you ask me, everything that you see here, which is models which are built in, everything that it does is it just helps you improve the efficacy. For example, the fatigue analysis tells you, which customers are oversaturated and undersaturated, right? And then you can decide, where I should stop communicating to those customers. Send time optimization is a very simple technology that's going to ensure that the emails are on the top of your inbox when you open your email, right?
Yeah.
So it just, it's just natural that if it's on the top, then your chances of opening it is higher. Subject line optimization is basically understanding the pattern of the keywords that you've used in subject line over a period of time and what were the open rates for those emails. And it will then tell you that these are the words that you should start using in your subject line to improve, right? It's not going to change for you automatically. It's going to tell you that, this is what will improve your efficacy. Now it's upon you to decide or take, that next action. Similarly, predictive lead scoring we spoke about models which are created, but they are still they are there, and what predictive lead scoring also does is looking at how that customers are coming onto your portal, how your sales rep is entering details about the meetings that he has done, the emails that he sent, the webinar that they've attended. So what it does is it predicts the score of this lead, not only basis what that customer is doing, but what other customers that you have or other prospects that you have, how they have gone through this journey, did they convert? So those kind of things have brought in to create a score. And then you've got account engagement score. Now account engagement score is actually moving from an individual to a company, because there are multiple decision makers in any organization, and you are reaching out to all of them. Okay, so account scorecard is not at an individual level, but account scorecard is at an overall level, where we are going to give you between 0 to 100. We are going to score every organization, not a person, every account, right? If it has 10 people, then we'll track 10 people and give you an account scorecard. Trending account card is actually very similar. It's going to automatically tell you that these are the these are the accounts which are trending, and that could be because of various reasons, recent interactions, recent visiting, webinars, something recently that the sales rep has put, products have been added, right? Things like that. So in nutshell, the AI capability that are available with Eloqua tool have been designed in such a way that they assist the marketing teams and they can help them improve the work that they are doing, and at the end of the day generate more leads with the same budgets or with the same amount of campaigns. I think that's the objective. The objective is not to take away work or make marketers lazy, because eventually they will have to take decisions, but just give them additional view on what the accounts are doing, what those people are doing, and how they are interacting. So that's how I would put AI ML capabilities, and we continue to add more capabilities from AI ML functionality, so that we can add more and more capabilities which customers can use eventually.
I think this is what we call personalization. I mean, these are the trend-setting parameters or rules which you have just explained, that Eloqua can be helpful in terms of that. In case if we talk about that, what are the going trends that where we can have more of personalization, campaign management through a tool, and whatever you have explained, that's the purest example of personalization. And as what you said, the account management, and recently I also got to know that even one of the other major tools, which is Pardot, so it has been renamed as account management tool instead of simply calling it as a Pardot.
Yeah, I think that's the whole idea, right? It's account management at the end of the day, and you can't, in a B2B business, right? You can't treat any opportunity at an individual level if there are 3 or 4 decision makers. You need to track what each and every person is. What does he believe about you? Because everyone has to, in a corporate world, in a democracy, everyone has to raise their hand and say, I agree.
Yeah. I can imagine that how things are happening via automation, via these tools, that as a conventional method, being a marketing person or maybe being a salesperson. So it used to happen that how we should read the customer's mind, how we should identifying the behavior, or maybe the way how we can monitor that, what is going inside the customer's head, that in case they are approaching us just to make an inquiry, or they are actually interested in how many inquiry calls or inquiry forms or questions they have put forward. And then we have a segregated model that which customers are genuine or which customers are non-genuine. I mean, all that stuff is happening through automation, what we're calling lead scoring model, life cycle, and then identifying the behaviors, and then making our strategies, and then implementing our budget, and then the whole life cycle has it is similar, but it has been completely automated. I mean, it has been identified through a tool now.
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
So we are, I think, reaching at the end of the at the session, and I think we've got 15 minutes for our Q&A. I can see some questions already, but I think we wanted to end with this session by giving. I think we have been able to give a perspective on the technology, of course, which was one of the most important reasons why we are here, but also what's really happening in the market. I mean, the how other marketeers are using these tools with smaller teams, right? 2 or 3 member teams are being able to leverage this tool for large organizations, and how this tool is really helping them do a better job at marketing and aligning with the sales team. At the end. Because no matter what marketeer does, if the sales guy says all this is bullshit, then it really doesn't help the organization and the marketeer, right? So I think it's a technology world, and every organization needs technology. They should invest in technology. Everyone wants Amazon-like experience, even in B2B world these days, right? So I think Amazon is the benchmark, and if you want to deliver something like that, you definitely, companies can't invest in the stacks or the teams, large teams like Amazon does, but having the right technology like Eloqua can take you there. And definitely I understand Grazity team has all the capabilities to not only implement this tool, but also execute and continuously give ideas to improvise, so that, because it's a never ending process, right? It's a continuous improvisation, and that's where I'm sure Grazity would help all the customers.
Definitely. And along with those capabilities and expertise, I think we have a great brand value of Oracle, which is coming along with the tool Eloqua. And of course, we are privileged, to be associated with that brand value and utilizing this marvelous and prestigious tool, of course.
Sure. Okay, Amit. So I think it's time for us to take some questions. I can see about 4 or 5 questions on the chat board. I think first one we can start with what are the issues that you run with lead scoring and how to address them. I think that's the first question. I think we covered it a little bit. I think the biggest problem is you start with a model and you just don't change it. You just don't change it. Second is it's manual in nature, so you keep you put few things which you thought about what's the right model, but I think just by tweaking around and playing around the capability, having more models will eventually lead you to what's the right thing. So that's how I put it.
Most of the questions, I think comprehensively we have covered a lot of things, like so a few of the interesting questions I can see is that in case Eloqua form can be integrated into non-Eloqua landing pages, and another one as I can see is that so QA step to be as part of the troubleshoot of workflows or setting up, in case if QA process implementation can be done. These are little out of the way thing, because QA happens, but QA doesn't happen as part of the tool actually. In terms of doing the automation, QA is a separate process. And as far as I have seen, integrating or implementing forms and Eloqua implementation have been done, or maybe the landing pages have been done. But in case if there is a different landing page, which is a non-Eloqua landing page or a non-Eloqua form, that can also be integrated or not. So again, that's something different.
Yeah, so I think that's absolutely possible, right? You can create your landing pages in Eloqua, and then you can ingest that into your website, right? So if that's your question, then yes, you can. Having said that, Eloqua also offers you, not only you can create landing page, but you can also host them within Eloqua, right? So we offer the, SSL capabilities. So, security is not an issue. So ideally, you wouldn't want to really host them anywhere else, if you ask me, but yes, you can create them and, you can host them on your website, right? That's absolutely something that most of the people do. I think one of the questions is also which marketing trends channels should business look upon in the upcoming year, right? I think I have answered that question.
Yeah, we have spoken about that. Yeah.
The email will be your number one channel, and video is what we are seeing is working the maximum. What are the emerging trends for personalizing campaigns with AI and ML? Over here, I would say, personalizing campaigns using AI and ML. Actually, the technology offers you the capability to personalize a single template, with all the attributes that are available with you, right? So that's one way of doing it, rather than having multiple templates. The attributes could be used to personalize campaigns. I haven't seen really too many AI and ML tools out there in the market who just change communications on the fly, right? Recently, one of the managing directors of a large insurance companies asked me, by the way, that, can your tool just change the communication depending on, what is the behavior of that person on that particular day, right? So I think we are not too far, I think Alexas of the world, I mean, we've seen the recent ads by top automobile companies who says they will play the songs depending upon the mood of the driver, how much stress is there in his eyes and stuff like that, right? And that's a reality. That kind of technology is being available in the top end cars. But when it comes to personalizing campaigns, I haven't really seen too much of machine learning that comes into the picture. Subject line optimization is definitely a machine learning model that is going to tell you what are the right keywords. But having said that, it's not going to automatically change depending upon the behavior of the person, right? What it could do is same template, depending upon the attributes that you have, you can personalize it.
And as far as the basic steps are being concerned, in order to align sales and marketing team, I think we need to identify the right strategy, whatever strategy marketing team is coming up with. So identifying that right strategy, and according to that, identifying the right tool, that how that tool can leverage that strategy and deliver or fetch those results, which sales team is capable to make more conversions. So strategy, as far as when I say strategy, so it can help in getting the MQLs, the number of MQLs. But now in case if there are MQLs, there are SQLs, are those all MQLs are getting conversions? Are we generating ROIs of that? So I think identifying the tool which can incorporate that the strategy which has been laid out, which will be and fully useful to the sales team. That's how the alignment gets into the picture. That's how the automation or a tool gets into the picture.
Yeah. I think it all starts. The basic step is transparency, right? I think it all starts with there, and after that, technology comes into the picture, and A is transparency, B is how much the sales teams have control on the campaigns that you're doing. Do they have the visibility? Often marketers run their campaigns, the reports are with them, right? And that's where I think the challenge is. So basic steps is to start with transparency, right? And I think that's when you can.
And definitely, tools, marketing automation tools are helping to maintain or create that transparency and visibility. Whatever the strategy was been laid out, whatever the database has been created, so that tools make the identification of that particular database works according to making the results which have been given to the sales team. Otherwise, sales team used to be blank on that because they're getting a lump of a lot of leads which may be converted or may not be converted. But now technology is helping to making a bridge building between these two different business verticals, and as you mentioned earlier, husband and wife, so so that the relation can be more cohesive.
Right. I think there's one question on what the process, on the lead handoff workflow in Eloqua look like. So there are multiple ways, by which you can, move your leads from your marketing to, first of all, there is this out of the box integration with the top CRMs available in the market, just like Salesforce, Siebel, Microsoft Dynamics, right? So there are connectors available, which means that once someone reaches a threshold, once an account reaches a threshold of a particular score, right? The score that you get, automatically that lead gets converted into hot, warm, cold, and it is being sent to the respective sales teams, right? So there are workflows that you can create where you start communicating with your customers. Then there is a score generated, and depending upon the score, that lead automatically gets allocated to the sales reps, right? So there's a complete workflow that can help you do that with out of the box connectors with all the top CRMs out there, right? So that's one way I would say the leads would come in. The second way I have seen is ingesting leads from let's say LinkedIn or Facebook pages, right? So you start your workflow with a webinar that, for example, this is a best use case, right? You've done a webinar and there are 30 people there are a lot of people who've joined it, right? So basically, you get all those leads in there, right? And then you start communicating with them on Facebook, LinkedIn, video. They show some interest, and then you start talking to them, right? So the multiple ways, that's what Eloqua offers. There are multiple ways by which you can bring in the leads and come start a workflow. So that's how you would do it. And I think I think there's one last question, Amit, before we can call off. I think what are the most popular tools used to clean data? To be frank, I'm not sure. What are the top tools out there? I think we can find out this answer, and we can come back to Sana. But I'm not sure about what are the best tools available in the market to clean data. There are some companies out there. If you give them email IDs, they would ping the email IDs, and then they will tell you whether this is a genuine email ID or no. So there are companies out there who do that. But yeah, that's one way of doing it. And there are certain address verification tools where you enter the address and they tell you that the organization name and address matches, right? So these are external service providers typically out there who do this, who offer these capabilities.
All right, someone is mentioning Salesbox AI and ABM platform.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, I think Amit, we've had a great session. We are on the top of the hour, right?
Yes, of course.
We can give back about a couple of minutes. So thank you for hosting me, Amit. I hope I was able to give some view on what's really happening in the B2B world, and how Eloqua can help most of the marketeers out there.
Yes, of course, Sagar, and it was lovely talking to you. And I have a better perspective, or maybe I call it a bigger perspective, because Eloqua being a heavy and a big tool as an enterprise level tool. So I think we have a better thought knowledge about this particular tool now. So thank you so much for your valuable.
Thank you, Amit. I think it was great talking to you and learning from you. Because customers, we sell tool, and then you take care of them, till they are with us, right? So I think thank you so much. It was great talking. Thank you.
Same here. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.